today we'll discuss what is data warehousing and why data warehouse, what are all the different ETL tools, and what are all the business intelligence tools. So we'll have a decent understanding by end of this session. So data warehousing. Let me start with an example so that it would be very clear for you guys. You can easily understand. Let us assume that I started a business in the south region of India. So the company name was ABC. Any business has to be, obviously with the products. A business means obviously it deals with the product. So here I'm dealing with FMCG, fast moving consumer goods. Nothing but daily usage products like paste, toothbrush, all this stuff comes under the fast moving consumer goods, daily usage products. So to capture all my business transactions, I'm using Oracle as my database. If business was good, then front end I'll use another software. Okay, so back end to capture all my business transactions, I use Oracle as my database. So my business was damn good in the south region. So as a higher management, I'll plan my business in the other regions, like north, east, and west. So rather than starting up a new company, so in the southern, in the other regions, north, east, and west, I'll acquire a few companies in other regions. So what will happen if I acquire some companies in the other regions, north, east, and west? I can start up my business from the day one itself. If I start a new business, it will take a lot of time to capture the market. So keeping in mind, I acquired some companies in the other regions. So I have acquired a company in the north region, XYZ. It also deals with FMCG, and here I use MySQL as my database. The same way, the other regions, also east and west region, I have acquired some companies. In one area, I use Excel to capture my business transactions, and in other region, I use a Sybase database. So in the four regions, I have four different databases. In India, in the four regions, like in one region I'm using Oracle, another region MySQL, another region Excel, and another region Sybase. So now I have my business across India. So if I want to make any business decisions, generally what I have to do is I need to analyze my historical data. So based on the analysis of historical data, if I could make a decision, obviously that would be perfect and business would be closed. So now if I want to analyze my historical data, India-wise, let us say for example I need some information like this. So top 5 products, sales was good across India, and top 5 products, sales was bad across India. So if I want this information, I cannot get it as of now because I have 4 different databases. If I want to fetch information from these 4 databases, I need to integrate these 4 databases. Oracle, MySQL, Excel, Sybase, all these 4. So what will happen is, if I want to integrate these 4 databases, the only one option what I have is, I can change into a single database system. Nothing but I can change these 3 like MySQL, Excel, Sybase into the Oracle. So or else these 3 to MySQL, these 3 into Excel, these 3 into nothing but changing into a single database system. If I go with this database system, so if I go with this changing into a single database system, I need to purchase software, I need to recruit resources. So the same way, cost-wise, time-wise, it will take it is high. That was the reason I have another option. Our main target is to create 4 databases, for analysis. So now I have another option. Let us assume that if I have 4 different databases, in 4 locations. In the south region, I'm using Oracle, and north region, I'm using Excel, and in east region, MySQL, and west region, Sybase. I have my 4 business across India in 4 different regions. Now, if I want to analyze my business, if I want to know across India, what was the sales, top 5 products, I just want to know. Sales was good, and top 5 products which sales was bad. So if I want that information across India, then I need to integrate these 4 databases. I need to integrate this Oracle, Excel, MySQL, Sybase, 4 regions database. Then only I can get the data. So now one option is changing into a single database system. That cost-wise and time-wise it is high. So the other option what I do is regularly data will be stored in these databases, 4 databases. From here I will extract the metadata and data into the transformation. So after extracting the complete data, here I can apply the logics, business logics based on my requirement. So after applying the logics in the transformation area, then I load data into data warehouse. So this is a process: extraction, transformation, loading. For this process, we have tools available in the market. So Informatica, Data Stage, Abnisho, lot of tools are available. So by using the tools, we will do this process. Once the data has been loaded into data warehouse, from here we use business intelligence tools to fetch data from the data warehouse. I said you an example. Let's say, for example, here I have a customer table. Here also I have customer, because these are 4 different databases. Obviously, I need a customer table in 4 regions. So what I'll do is, let us assume that for the column called gender, customer gender, male and female. So I've written M and F here, 01 here, 001, 002 here, customer gender. So this is how I'm storing the data at the time of billing. So now, if I get 4 different naming conventions in the data warehouse, user will be confused at the time of analysis. So in the transformations, I'll apply some business logic. If it is a 01, if it is a male M and F, if it is a something other coding, then it will convert here in the transformation to male and female. Then the data will be loaded into the data warehouse. This is a complete process, ETL process: extraction, transformation, and loading. We use business intelligence tools. Going forward, we are working with the Cognos tools. So now you got a clarity about the BI tools and reporting tools. So this BI tool is also called as reporting tool. So going forward, we will discuss all these concepts. Like we will discuss data warehousing concepts, so Cognos architecture, futures, and versions. Here we have lot of previous versions and features. For all the features in the Cognos architecture also we discuss. So framework manager, it is actually a metadata modeling tool. Before reporting, we do modeling. The framework manager. So and Query Studio is for simple and ad hoc reporting purpose. We develop Query Studio. We develop reports in the Query Studio. End users will use this Query Studio. And Report Studio is mainly used for complex report. Any kind of complex reporting will be in the Report Studio. And Transformer, it is mainly for 3-dimensional reporting. In the Transformer, we can build a cube. And in the Analysis Studio, we can develop 3-dimensional reporting. And Cognos Connection, where we manage the reports, giving access to the end users, and all the reports will be managed in the Cognos. So, and complete end-to-end process of a project. Like we have development, we have enhancement, we have support, we have migration, we have different kinds of tools available. You want me add? Is anything you are looking specific, Shyam?
No, you said you will be showing how to create a report. Is it today or?
Yes. Today itself, I'll just show you the framework manager modeling and all the windows. I'll just show you.
Yeah, Rajesh, and apart from this topic, whether you will be covering about how to install, Cognos 10.2, and how the portal communication is happening, what is the dispatcher to gateways, those things under you will be covering, right?
No, in the architecture we'll be discussing. Installation will not do it in the sessions. Administrator will log in and will help you with the installation. So
Okay.
we're not going to do installation in the class. Hari.
Yeah, that's what I got. But my question is, whether that kind of topics and all it will be covered in the session. While how the dispatcher is working, what those kind of stuff.
Yes, we are discussing. We will discuss that. See, administration means whatever is available. See, because we are in a standalone environment, not into distributed environment. So whatever is possible we have in the administration, we have generally 3 tabs. Now in the 10.2 we have 4 tabs. So that we will discuss it. So we will discuss how to create data sources and securities, all this stuff.
Yeah. Those things it will be covered in the curriculum, right?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Now I will show you how to create a simple report. In the modeling how we do. Then after modeling how to create a package and publish. So then opening in how to open reports in the Cognos connection. Then a simple report development. So now we are going to discuss framework manager. Cognos connection. As well as report studio and Cognos viewer. So coming to framework manager, metadata modeling. So Cognos connection, where we manage report studio, develop the report studio. Cognos viewer, where we'll view the output.
Where does transformer come then?
The transformer is for cube building. So framework manager is for metadata, for relational modeling, and dimensional modeling also can be done in framework manager. We cannot build the cube in the framework manager. So we have transformer, we build cube in the transformer. Today now I'll just show you, apart from the transformer, remaining windows I'll show you. The framework manager, how to do modeling, and how to open report studio, and how to develop, and how to view the output. All these windows I'll show you except this transformer. So now I'll just show you all these windows. We will create a simple report. Framework manager, for your understanding purpose, detailedly we'll discuss it in the later. Meanwhile, I'll just tell you what exactly we do in framework manager. So first step is create a project. Second step is import metadata. Metadata is nothing but table structure. Table, import metadata, specify relationship and cardinality. Apply business rules. creating a package. Apply security. Publishing package. So for your understanding purpose, I am just explaining you in 6 different steps. This is the total work what we are going to do in framework manager. So this is importing metadata, specifying relationships and cardinalities between the tables. Applying business rules is nothing but filters, calculations, conditions. Then I'll create a package. Then I'll apply securities and I'll publish the package. So in the going forward classes, we'll discuss detailing. As of now, today I'll just do these 6 steps and I'll publish the package. Then that will be open in the report studio. Generally, you can go with all programs and Cognos 10. So you can find framework manager and transformer also here. We also have map manage. These are all window-based tools. We call these window-based tools.
What version of Cognos is this, 10 or?
10. You can see it here. It is 10 version, 10.1. So current version is 10.2 and we are using 10.1. It's taking some time, just give me a second.
You have web-based versions of these tools also, right?
Right. So coming to web-based, Report Studio, Cognos Connection, Query Studio, all these comes under web-based. So here it has been segregated into 2 types, window-based and web-based. So modeling-wise, framework manager, transformers, map manager, all these comes into window-based. And coming to web-based, Query Studio, Report Studio, Analysis Studio, all this stuff. Right. So now I'll just show you. So this is what a framework manager. Meanwhile, I'll also open the window-based, web-based. 2 things. Window-based means I have to go to the all programs and I need to open framework manager. If I want to open Report Studio and all these stuff, Cognos connection, that are all web-based. So we have actually services. We need to start up the services. That was the reason it was taking some time. This is a framework manager window, and this is the Cognos connection window. Right. So in the framework manager, what we have to do is the complete process I am showing you now for development of a report. So just initially we need to create a project. Project name something Bigclass 51, and just click OK. Services has not yet started. Just give me a second so that it will be started. So framework manager is a window-based tool. So these are the 6 steps what we do in framework manager. So after this, we have Cognos connection. The Cognos connection. So this is a web-based application. So web-based tool. So here, if I open Cognos connection, here we can see all the studios like Query Studio, Report Studio, Analysis Studio. So all kind of studios can be available here in the Cognos connection. So if I develop a report in the Report Studio, that would be obviously stored in the Cognos connection itself. So which will be accessed by the end user. And Cognos here where the end user will use. So these are all the data sources we have in the So in the framework manager, first step we created a project. Second step, now we are importing metadata. These are all the different schemas what we have. So here I have selected all the tables, and next, if I use this primary and foreign key, automatically this framework manager tool will specify relationships and set the cardinality. Use primary and foreign. So it is importing all the query subjects is nothing but table and relationships count 24. So finish. So this is a framework manager tool. So where we do modeling. So what we did is automatically we specified relationships. We can check it here in the launch context explorer. So the relationships are working between the tables. So we created a project, we imported that. So then the third step is business rules, filters, calculations, conditions. As of now, will not apply. So then we'll create a package and we'll publish it now. So here you can find the framework. This is a property span. This is a statistical window. How many tables, how many columns we have, relationships, how many data sources, how many. So now just right click, create a package. Bigclass 51 package. Click next. If I don't want something, any one of the table, I can just delay it, finish. You have successfully created your package. Would you like to open the published package? Yes. Here we will define generally security. As of now, we will not. Just publish. Once after creating a package and publishing, now that package can be opened here in the Cognos connection report. See, the package name is BC512. So this is how we do modeling in the framework manager. Then coming to report studio, this is a Cognos connection window. So here my content, this area will be, my home will be given access to the end user for report development. And IBM developer, Cognos developer will use this IBM Cognos content. So this is my content and this part is administration part. So this is my actions where we can develop reports. Query my data is nothing but Query Studio. Analyze my business is nothing but Analysis Studio. And Author Advanced Report is Report Studio. This is Event Studio. So Author Advanced Reports. If I click on Author Advanced Report, it will ask us the package. What is our package name? This one, BC51P, right? So just click open. So these are all the different templates. While opening Report Studio, it will ask us which kind of report we want. So just selected list report. So this is the work area, and now what I'll do is I'll try to drag some columns to this page. Order number, retailer name, something unit cost. This is a run button. So you can see the data. This is how a report would be created. This window is called as Cognos viewer, and this is a report studio, and this window is called as Cognos connection, and this is a framework map. So was it clear? Going forward, we used to work with these windows. So this is a framework manager window, Cognos connection, and this is a report studio where we develop reports, and this is a Cognos view.
So the package that you created, right, that will contain all the metadata information, all the tables and the relationships.
Right, correct. All the tables and relationships will be available. So that has been published, then only we can able to access it in the, see here the name was BC512. So the same tables, whatever we have published, the same tables will be available in the report studio for development. So that metadata will contain some relationships and cardinalities.
Whether this Cognos has its own database?
Sorry?
Whether this Cognos has its own database, what this the package is under, where it will store it?
No, it will not. Cognos will not have a separate database. It will directly fetch from the database itself. It will have content stored. So the content store, it will store all the metadata, everything. So it will not have any specific database.
So you can connect to any database like
Yes.
Oracle or SQL Server.
Any database.
Okay. So this package, right, this package can be said to be the same as a subject area in OBI?
Yes, correct. So perfect. Their VA administration, what we do is we have a physical business mapping layer, and we have presentation layer, right?
Correct.
There, do the relationships and all this stuff. The same way here in the framework manager, we do that kind of activities here. So we are just modeling it. Because if I want to fetch data from two different tables, obviously there should be a relationship. So without relationship, we cannot fetch data from two different so that, keeping in mind that, so in the framework manager we do metadata modeling, then we'll publish this, then in the report studio we'll develop reports from these columns. Now I can fetch columns from any of these data, any of these tables. I'll also include product number. I'll run this.
Then you have exercises also?
Yeah, we have a lot of exercises. Even in the class itself, I'll ask the students to do it. I used to guide them with the different kinds of reports we used to do that. So I'll just give you mouse and keyboard control, and I'll ask the students to do it in the class itself. Few reports, not all the reports. Each student one different report. I'll guide them. Completely will be practical oriented sessions, no theoretical sessions. Only first, second, third class. That would be data version concepts and features versions. All this stuff would be theoretical classes. Later on, everything would be practical oriented. No, theoretical sessions. Any more questions, Shanti?
I think that's fine. I mean, some of the topics are like complex, like queue creation. So, do you really spend a good amount of time in there?
Yeah, we'll spend good amount of time even in the queue building analysis studio. Right, we do. But most of the time we'll spend on framework manager. In the framework manager itself, we do relational modeling and dimensional modeling in the framework manager itself. So the even queue also is nothing but again dimensional modeling, right? So we work both in framework manager as well as queue building in the transformer. Most of the time we'll spend on report studio because any kind of reports can be developed in the report studio. So lot of time and lot of reports, like different, even we use HTML and JavaScript for report development in the report studio. So lot of reports like conditional blocking, formatting, drill through reports, master detail reports, dashboards, active reports, list cluster. So all varieties of reports we used to work even in Cognos. So we have that flexibility and we have the more options in the report studio and framework manager. Whereas in the transformers and analysis studio, we'll have very less options even to explore. So whatever the options is available, everything we'll discuss it. We have more scope in report studio and framework manager to discuss. Shanti, any more questions you have?
No, that is fine. Fine.
Even software installation, everything will be done by administrator. He'll log into your machine and will install software and everything. 10.1.